Hi everyone, I'm Christine Schiavone and our show is Spiritual Exploration. Tonight I have the pleasure of welcoming back a special guest who has been with me on several occasions. His name is Louix Dor Dempriey, and he comes from California, and when he's going to be in town, his staff notifies me, and we make a arrangement to do a show because he's always so very interesting. And so without further ado, I'd like to introduce you again to Louix Dor Dempriey. Hello, Louis.
Hey there. Hi, Christine.
Nice to have you.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
I'm
Thanks
so excited to see you all the time, whenever. It's been 2 years now since you've been here.
No, I can't believe that.
Yeah. And so you come in and you're looking different now. What's the story? Why do you have a different look about you now? You're still the same person, but no more long hair, no more long beard, no more guru outfit.
Well, yeah, last time you saw me 2 years ago, I had hair halfway down my chest and my belly, and my beard was almost to my navel, and I had long gowns on and all that. I still have those gowns. I wear those on occasion.
Right.
But interestingly enough, if I could backtrack a bit, I never liked facial hair, beards, and I wasn't that into super long hair. But way back, I had my hair 13 years was long and beard was 7 years. But one day I woke up and I heard, my nickname for God is the boss. I heard the boss say to me, I woke up and stopped shaving, and the beard just started growing, and at first I couldn't stand it. But I just got out of the way, you know. My life's none of my business, whatever God wants.
Really?
So I let the hair grow and the beard grow, and then it just became part of my life. And then it was actually, I never saw it coming. I thought I was going to have it for the rest of my life, to be honest. And then it was leading up to my 50th birthday a few years ago, and I woke up one day and I looked in the mirror, and my hair was gone and my beard was gone. And I shook my head. I did one of those, you know, and then but it was like with my naked eyes, it was gone. I kept seeing my face fairly clean shaven. I mean, this is still a beard, but it's not. I had the big Santa Claus beard.
Right.
So, and then my hair was gone, and it just kept happening day after day after day, and then it became very clear that it was going to be going. So I knew it was.
So it was coming out on its own?
No, it wasn't falling out. I was having a parallel reality.
Really?
I'm sitting in the mirror with long hair down halfway down my back and a beard to my navel.
But that's not what
I'd
you
look
were
in the
seeing.
mirror and I would physically, with my own eyes, see my new look.
Oh wow!
And
Amazing.
so then after that was happening for a couple of weeks, and then my little daughter, who's very, very intuitive, she always was my biggest advocate for my beard. When people say, "I can't stand your beard, shave that," and she'd say, "No, I love Daddy's beard," and she'd stroke it. He's supposed to have that. He's supposed to have that. God wants him to have that. You know, when she was 3 and 4 years old.
Really? Wow.
So then she walks up to me one day. She said, "Daddy, your beard needs to go. It's time."
Oh no!
Just out of the blue. And I said, "You love
and
it more than anyone."
What's her age now then?
She's 12, so she was about 9 or 10 when she said that.
Oh.
She said, "It's supposed to go, Daddy. You're not supposed to have it anymore." And that was another confirmation. And then I just knew. So I said, well, let me do something fun with it. So we did a big, big event for my 50th birthday, and it was aired over the internet worldwide, and there were 100 people in the theater. We had a big sit-down dinner, and it was a whole evening event. And I only told, I think 2 people knew I was going to do it. And one of them is here tonight, at least one of the 2. And so I walked out on stage with my hair completely cut off.
And nobody recognized you.
You could hear this big gasp and then this, oh! So I surprised everyone. So it was just, you know, God wanted it grown, and then God said it was time to go. So, but I understand why, too, to get to the gist of your question, why the new look. It's really about reaching the widest body of people possible, because some people are turned off by the beard, and some people are turned off by the kind of Hindu-looking outfits, and I'm not a Hindu, and I'm not, you know, I'm non-denominational. So, and a lot of people used to use my Sanskrit name. I have 2 names. I have a French name that's pronounced in English, and then I have a Sanskrit name. So most people know me by Louis now. People who live with me and around me, they still know me as Pranananda. And a lot of people address me as that. But in terms of mass media and our promotion and advertising, we, you know, use for all marketing and advertising purposes as Louis. So it just makes it more palatable, more acceptable, more recognizable. And with this look too, I can reach younger people.
Oh,
I've
sure.
always had a very young-looking face and appearance. So you know, it makes me more acceptable to a lot of people. And a lot of people can find that they ingratiate themselves to me more with an easier name, easier look, and I do it. And a lot of it, you know, there were other reasons too, but those are the primary ones. So.
Well,
And
I think that's good reasons.
And so I still basically it was because the boss said so.
That's
Whatever the
well-
boss wants, I do.
That's right.
So-
That's what we all should do.
Yeah,
Whatever the boss wants.
Exactly. It makes life easy.
God's will be done.
Exactly. I always tell people it's God's plan. Let Him worry about it. Just tell me what to do.
That's all. And God says, let me worry about it too.
Exactly.
You know, He says, don't you worry, I'll take care of it. Don't
Exactly.
worry.
Don't you worry about
That's
it.
it.
baby.
Right.
So, and I do still wear those gowns at formal events too.
Okay.
Like tomorrow night we're doing an event, and I'll have one of my Indian garments on. So.
Right. Well, what brings you to New York now besides my show?
Well, of course I come to see you. I get on the plane and fly across the country to see you.
Right.
But I'm doing 2 events in New York in addition to your show. We're doing an event, and both of them are on Staten Island, as a matter of fact.
Yes, I know.
Yeah,
I'm
one of
going to
them
try to attend both of them if I can.
Oh, awesome! I'd love to have you on.
Oh, yeah, I'd love
One of them
to.
tomorrow night is a darshan, which is a Sanskrit word for lay people and people who don't know Sanskrit. The closest approximation is what people understand as faith healing or laying of hands. I sit in a chair and I go into a deep, deep state, and people come up and I anoint them and do blessings on them, and it's a really, really powerful experience. And to some people, I will whisper revelations or insights about their health or their life or the future, but that doesn't happen for everyone. That's maybe 50
Depends on
people.
who's whispering in your ear.
Yeah, it's just whatever I'm supposed to hear and see. But like if 100 people come up, I might speak to 10 or 15 of them.
Right.
And it's just random of what they're meant to
Whatever
hear.
comes up,
But
yes.
everybody gets a laying of hands, and my hands go. I do specific anointings on the head and sometimes the heart, but other times, I've had this ability to do faith healing for many, many years. So my hands might just find things on people's bodies, like the lymph glands, or sometimes I'll find tumors or
That they don't know about.
organs that need work. So I just work with the blockages, pains and aches and backaches and headaches and migraines, and so it's a whole package deal. But basically, think of it as laying of hands, faith healing, and receiving a blessing. And I really pour a lot of light and love into people's bodies. So
Amen.
a lot of people have huge fits of laughter, big crying, and some people can feel heat, feel energy, feel buzzing. Everyone's experience is different.
I'm sure.
So that's tomorrow night's event, and we have music playing in the background. And then on Monday night, I believe it is, I'll be giving a discourse and then opening the floor for interaction. So we'll have questions and answers, and that can be stemming from that topic, or it can be free flowing and whatever people bring up.
Right.
And it's just it's like a stream of consciousness. It goes where it goes, like what happens with you and me.
Right.
We often come in with a theme, and then it just kind of just goes.
Oh, yeah, it gets exactly.
But we try to keep it under the umbrella of that general theme.
Yes.
So that'll be on Monday.
Interesting, very interesting.
Yeah,
Well, I'll definitely be there tomorrow night, and I'll try, and Monday, I hope to make both of them.
Well, thank you.
As much time as I could spend with you while you're here anyway, right? So, and this is open to people, right?
Open to the public, and there's no set charge. Just I do pretty much all my events by donation.
Right,
So
right,
people
yes.
can come and just.
Well, at this point, by the time they see this show, it's going to be over with.
Right.
But you do certain things otherwise, though. Well, you said twice a month you do something.
We have video conferences that air on the internet, so they're worldwide, and people can sign up for those through our website.
Okay, so if somebody wants to sign up for a video conference, which is what this is all about, right?
Yeah.
Can we see it on the TV, please? Then they would visit www.louixlive.org. That's LOUIXLIVE.org.
And you can learn all about it there.
And you could learn all about the video conferences that you do.
Right.
Now, this is, where do these take place?
They're filmed at our center, at our ashram in Laguna Hills, California.
I see.
And they air live, but when people sign up from them, they can see them anytime in the course of that whole month. But we're also building a membership site now too, so they'll be part of that living library. So once you've been part of that one, I believe you have access to that forever. So.
That's great.
Yeah.
So www.louixlive.org is your website.
No, that's for this.
That's just for this.
The main parent website is louix.org.
Oh, okay. So louix.org, and if somebody went to louix.org, they could also get to louixlive.org.
Yeah, you could find it in there as well.
Right.
You could route your way
there'll
through
be
it. Yeah.
Right, I see. Okay.
Or you could go straight into the conference through louixlive.org.
All right. Well, if anyone's interested in the conferences, then go to louislive.org and see about them.
And people send in questions for those, so we cover every topic under the sun. And I also do guided meditations during those. Sometimes I do chanting.
Nice.
We try
Sounds
to cover
really
a little bit of
interesting.
everything.
I'm going to go there myself.
All right.
Yeah, I
Awesome.
will. I will.
Oh, yay.
So now our topic tonight is feeling is healing. And so my interpretation of that, well, as I explained earlier, was, you know, like if you're feeling like you need to cry or you need to express yourself in some way, it's helpful to your healing for you to just do that. You want to elaborate on that?
Mm-hmm. The premise of this topic, this theme, feeling is healing, is it stems from the fact that in my not just 20 formal years of this ministry, but all my life, having been a counselor and a help to people all throughout my life, even in childhood and in school, it's very clear and apparent to me that most people avoid, deny, suppress, escape their feelings at all costs. Most people don't want to feel. Now, for people to understand the premise of how our bodies work spiritually and energetically, you know, we're created by God in the image of God as pure love from pure love. So our true essence, everyone under the sun, is pure love. And our bodies are built by design since we're a sealed environment, anything that's not pure love, we introduced into our body. And our body and our soul, by design, while our soul is housed in this physical form, by design, our souls are always trying to either transmute into love anything that's non-loving within us, or eject, get it out of us, because it's poison. Anything that's not love is poison in our system. So because of people's nature of suppressing, avoiding, denying their feelings, that's what makes us ill, because our souls are immortal, and our bodies could live a lot longer and a lot healthier if we processed our emotions and our mental thoughts and in a way that's more healthy. And so to understand that the soul is always striving to transmute non-love into love or get it out of the body, when we suppress, repress, avoid, deny, escape, we're working against the natural flow of our system, and that creates illness. That's why we get boils and acne and tumors and cancer. I mean, if you even think energetically, cancer are unhealthy cells that are parasitically eating and devouring and taking over your healthy cells.
Right.
So because the physical plane is the densest plane of creation and the last place anything appears, everything starts in spirit first and works its way, you know, sending messages to us of what needs balance and harmony. And when we keep avoiding, eventually we materialize and manifest something in our physical world to get our attention. So with looking just at cancer, cancer is something that's eating away at you, that's being left unaddressed. And eventually, if you don't address it, if you're not listening and catching the messages your soul is whispering from the ethers, eventually it appears in your physical world. That thing that's been eating away at you begins to physically eat away at your body, and now it has your attention. And that's why it can be so easily cured, because most people address their cancer from the outside in, but when people come to me with cancer, I work from the inside out. I'll also give them treatments from the outside in as well, but it can be cured way more fast from the inside out.
Now, you feel that something like cancer is something we bring upon ourselves with our own kind of attitudes in a way?
Oh, unequivocally. I mean, there are physical vehicles to bring it on, too. I mean, you can get cancer from exposure to radiation. You can get cancer from
a number of things
that we all have been proven. But again, those are not at the causal level. Those are more at the symptomatic level. You know, that's more effect. You still everything originates in thought. So there first needs to be, your soul needs the life experience of having it. There are reasons that people are not addressing in their mental and emotional bodies, because the mental and emotional body rule the physical body. At least 80% of everything that happens in your body is stemming from your mental and emotional state. So to help people, which brings us to the theme of this, feeling is healing, to direct people's attention into purifying and healing and bringing balance into their mental and emotional body, while also addressing the physical as well and your spiritual. But that's what will bring the healing and the balance at a very, very deep level and all pervasively through your body. And you can transform and heal and purify so quickly when you do that. And so you had commented on the subject of crying, which is a really good one to start with as an example. There's a commonly held belief system, and I think most viewers would agree, that most people in most countries believe that crying is a sign of weakness. And it's even worse for men than for women, because women are more accepted to be more emotional and feeling,
Right.
whereas society is the main oppressor of men. Men are the main oppressors of women in psychology. So the oppression from all of society upon men is bite the bullet, grin and bear it, big boys don't cry, don't be a pansy, don't be a wuss, don't be
a lot of men bring up their sons that way.
And the men shut it down.
Yeah.
But the truth is, all crying is healing.
Yeah.
Crying is actually a sign of strength. It takes tremendous strength and courage and vulnerability and sensitivity to allow yourself to feel. So that program, that rotten, corrupt software that humanity is bought into, that has to be removed, and people have to, well, not have to, but it's suggested that I'm suggesting that people let go of that distorted belief system, which is completely inaccurate, and just remind yourself that crying is a sign of strength. It's a sign of wisdom. It's a sign of truth and understanding, and it's a sign of being connected to who you are. So,
and you also feel a lot better when you're done.
Yeah, all crying is healing, bar none. Same way all laughter is healing.
Now, what about diseases that are hereditary, like diabetes? Heart disease could be hereditary. It could be brought on by yourself too, but certain heart conditions are hereditary. Things like that. I mean, can they be avoided or cured?
I can't give a blanket statement about that across the board, but what I can say is that most conditions, if not close to all, can be ameliorated, can be lessened, mitigated, reduced by sound mind, sound body, by purifying your mental and emotional body. You can stave off some of them completely. You can limit or reduce some of them. You can decrease the symptom of them. Now, I can't say that again across the board, because like you said, there are some things that people are born with, they came in with it, but that could be explained through laws of karma. There are karmic reasons that certain people have to have certain life experiences. But even, like I said, those can even be kept to the barest minimum when we're living in harmony with ourselves, with the universe, with our environment, with the people around us. The more you bring yourself, into a state of love and balance and inner peace, the more graceful your whole life in the world goes, including health, mental thoughts, emotions, and your experiences through your job, through your relationships. More harmony, more grace, the more we purify.
Well, the truth is that our well-being, our happiness comes from within. We cannot count on any outside entity or person or thing or money or whatever to make us happy. It has to come from within, so that when we have the happiness coming from within, then we should be able to control the diseases like that too.
True, to a large degree. And also another really important thing for people to understand is that, and I get a lot of flack on this one, but happiness is actually a choice. It's not a result of or an effect of circumstance.
Just like suffering is a choice.
It is, and it's also an effect, but happiness completely is a choice. I mean, you could kick me in the shins with all your might with your shoes right now and put a big welt in my foot, and it's my choice whether to step out of love, kick you back, to be angry, to be hurt, to feel offended, to storm off the set. Those are free-willed choices. So, most psychology teaches that our emotions are pattern behavioral responses to stimuli, but they're not. That's a very naive and ignorant way of thinking. The truth is, if you want to operate at the penthouse of true highest consciousness, emotions are our free will choices. I choose to be happy. We all have tragedy, and I don't mean to sound insensitive to people who have traumas in their lives, because I've had them too. I had a son who committed suicide. My marriage broke up, and I'm going through a horrible, bitter divorce right now, not from my side, but, things happen, and loved ones pass on and relationships break up. But I still have a choice every minute of every day to say, I choose love. I choose to be kind. I choose to be loving. I choose not to dump my emotions on other people. It doesn't mean, here's again where the denial comes in. Some people say, oh, it's all love, it's all good, but they're fuming inside. This is like the essence of what this theme is about today. The important thing is to really honor your feelings and connect with them. If you have anger or rage inside, a lot of people don't want to feel it because they think it's bad or they're a bad person. I can't tell you how many people I've worked with who have that belief system. Oh, if I show my anger, I'm a bad person. No, to have anger means you're human, you're alive. Things stimulate or prompt people to feel angry. What's unhealthy is to put that anger on a human being, on a child, on your children, on an animal.
No, or take something, it's like,
No.
I take it out on somebody.
Right, but there are healthy ways. But it's not the feeling of it. Having it and feeling of it is perfectly normal, perfectly healthy, perfectly rational, perfectly everything. You know, mastery is not about what happens to you. Mastery is about how you handle what happens to you.
Yes.
And so I teach people that having those feelings is perfectly normal and fine. And I give people tools to transmute and channel those energies. You know, like Einstein used to say, everything is energy, and energy can never be destroyed. That's why when people ask him about, do you believe in reincarnation? He said, well, it's irrelevant whether I say I do or I don't. He said, but what I know from physics is that everything is energy, and energy cannot be destroyed. It can only change shape. Ergo, it's quite possible. In other words, what he's saying is, when you finish with your body, you don't disappear.
No.
That energy that's you still exists.
That's right, yeah, forever.
And forever. Where does it go? We could argue about that till the cows come home. But he said it's proven that it's energy. So it's the same thing with your feelings and emotions. To deny they're there will make you sick. And then what also happens, because we go back to the first statement I made, I know I talk fast, but
That's okay.
that's okay.
We follow.
We go back to the first statement I made, that your soul by design is always trying to transmute or eject from you anything that's not loving. Now, if we know from physics, again, I always use the earth to help teach principles so people don't get lost in their heads. We know from the earth, from nature, lava always finds the weak spot in the rock. True or false?
True.
You know, it's like we see these cartoons with the guy in the leaky boat putting his thumb in the holes,
Right.
and it'll keep squirting somewhere else.
Yeah.
That's a great analogy of our emotional body. So when people deny or repress it, or say this is so, omnipresent in the New Age movement of, oh, everything's love and we're all pure, and they just have such denial, many people. But that's like the leaky boat. That denial is sticking your finger in all of it. Those non-loving feelings and emotion, because your soul's always pushing them out, like the lava, they're going to squirt out on people. I nickname the term squirt. You know, these unhealthy squirts where you're talking to someone and the anger is going to come out. And it's going to come out in the wrong place, on the wrong people, at the wrong time, because that individual is not in touch with the emotions, not processing them properly. Like, I'll give you a simple example just for anger. One of the greatest tools, I tell people, go into your bedroom, shut the door, bury your face in the pillow, and scream away at the top of your lungs. Say every obscenity, every negative thought you're having. But again, when you start, couch it and frame it with saying, say out loud or silently out loud, silently to yourself, that I recognize what I'm about to do is not the true me. I realize that in essence I'm pure love, and at this moment I'm not feeling that. I'm feeling very angry, and I want to get this poison out of me. So then you've couched it, you're showing that it's not the truth of you, but you're also not denying that it's there. It's a parallel reality, it's both. So then you put your face on the pillow and you scream away, so no one can hear the words. It's important that no one can hear what you're saying, because those people might be in the house you're screaming at. So, but if they're just saying, and you just go and go and go, and it acts like a poultice, and it comes out of you. And your ego personality gets the satisfaction of having had your say, the poison energy comes out, and you do it till you're done, till there's nothing left. I used to do mine in the ocean too, because I live near the beach.
Oh.
I'd walk up to my chest, face out to sea, take a handful of rocks, and I whip them out at the ocean at whomever I was feeling angry at.
You were
scream and yell.
taking out your frustrations
In a healthy way.
in a healthy way.
Wouldn't hit my children. I wouldn't swear at someone. I wouldn't strike a person. I wouldn't hit an animal. I wouldn't demolish trees and plants. But I go out in the ocean and give it to the sea, this great loving body of water.
Which
and
can hold it.
She can
handle
take it. She
yeah,
loves it.
Yeah.
And I would scream and scream and throw rocks and slap the water until I was at peace. And I would have so much peace come through my body. And I'd turn around and walk out of the sea, dry off. People think, who's that weird guy? They couldn't hear me.
Well, tell me now. Now you've done this.
That's an example.
Does that make say you're angry at, let's say, a person for something terrible that they have done or are doing or trying to do, trying to hurt you, whatever, okay? Now you do this. You do the screaming in your pillow or at the sea or whatever.
Yeah.
And
Oh, you'll
and
feel better.
feel a lot better. But does it go away for good, or another week from now you think about it and you'll get angry again?
Well, the thing is, because this is a wholesome and a deep core level, soul level way of healing, this is not coping. See, a lot of psychology and a lot of emotional and socio-ecological things that happen in society are coping devices, not healing devices. This is a healing modality, and whatever came out of you in that instance is permanent. Now, it may come up again, the topic, and it may come up toward the same person, but it will be other issues and other anger that's deeper level.
In other words, if you're angry for this person because for one reason, you get rid of that, but then something else comes up that they did something else.
Yeah, so it might be the same person, but I'm telling you, like say this glass, this is what, a 12, 16 ounce glass, let's say.
Yeah.
Let's say, I'll just say hypothetically, I have no anger toward you, but let's just,
Right.
let's just say that you're the person in my life that's stimulating all this anger in me.
Okay.
And let's say, again, I'm really oversimplifying this, but let's say I have 16 ounces worth of anger toward you on myriad topics. And I go do this screaming into the sea, and I've just gotten rid of 2 ounces. Those 2 ounces are gone for the rest of my life. So if I find anger at you next week, it's going to be one of the remaining 14 ounces
So
that
in
is
other
then
words,
coming up.
Then
This is
it
alchemical
just keeps going and going.
until there's nothing left.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
this is alchemical healing. It's not coping. It's very, very different. Now, other people need something very physical, and it differs from the instance, from the person, from what space you're in. Sometimes people need the satisfaction of hitting, of hurting, of destroying something. And when I see people in that space, I have 2 tools that are really, really powerful. In every one of my centers around the world, we have these giant punching bags hanging in the garage. And people can go in with their fists, boxing gloves, bare fists, and pound away in the bag. And again, you couch it saying, I have this poison in me, this anger I need to get rid of. I don't want it in me. I know it's not the truth of who I am, yet I'm feeling it and I want to be true to it. And you just go to town on this bag, and 100% of the time, people are in peace. 100%. Another one I give people, I'll take a big cardboard box, bring them out in the backyard, and I give them a steel pipe or a big wooden cudgel, and I say, beat the living daylights out of the box. Channel your anger, because it's pulling it out of your body alchemically and permanently.
Can you pretend that it's the person that you're angry
Yeah, that's
with?
what you're supposed to be doing.
Okay.
But you're framing
Draw
it.
a face on the box and say that's their face.
If it helps. I've had people put faces. They've even put my face on the punching bag. Go ahead. But again, you want it. You need to have. The way I describe it is you have to have one foot in the door of reality, and the reality is that nobody ever did anything to me. This is all projection. It's all victim consciousness, because there's nobody on the planet but me. All 7 billion people are holographic extensions of all the many parts of you. So that 1 foot in reality is there's no one on the planet but me, and I created all of this, and these are all my feelings, which I've projected onto people. But the foot in, you need to be true and honest with the foot that's in the realm of delusion, because that's where people live, that you did this to me, you hurt me, you made me angry. That's what stimulates people's emotional body. So you don't want both feet there, and you don't want both feet here, because that's false. That's the new agey, oh, it's all love and hearts and flowers, and they get that glazed look like they just got hit in the head with a blunt object. And, it's like, that's total spiritual victimhood, and both feet here is earthly 3D victimhood. That